Now for the top story tonight. Should America send taxpayer money to Africa to help in the fight against AIDS? This year, the U.S. will send $200 million to that continent where AIDS is killing millions of people. But is this the right thing to do? We'll hear two differing opinions. First, joining us now from Houston is K.A. Paul, the president of the Global Peace Initiative. Now, I understand, Mr. Paul, you were just in Africa and you're going back again soon. The stats are frightening. 25 million people right now in sub-Saharan Africa have AIDS, and I appreciate the work you're trying to do. I really admire you for it, but isn't it impossible to get this thing under control at this point?
If we don't control now, it will be too difficult to control in the years and decades to come. And I believe when you're talking about $200 million, we are spending tens of billions of dollars wasting taxpayers' money in this country where we should not be spending. I was in Yugoslavia during the war, tried to bring peace between the 19 NATO nations and Yugoslavian president. And we have spent billions of dollars and will be spending billions of dollars. And to me, not saving any souls.
All right. Now, you make a good point. We've wasted a lot of money. We're sending more than $1 billion to Colombia to fight the drug traffic there, and I don't believe that money is going to be used at all. Those people are in the mountains. They're going to grow the coca no matter what we do. Now, we got $200 million going over there. That's about $8 each for each person who has AIDS in Africa. Now, I don't mind my money going to help people who are in suffering and in pain. But the governments of most African countries, as you know, are very corrupt. And I'm afraid that my money and your money, Mr. Paul, and everybody else watching, is not getting to these people. It's being stolen. Can you reassure me?
Let me try to reassure you. We have to do everything. What I do with these presidents, personally counsel them, minister to them, try to change their hearts. I know a lot of corrupt presidents all over the world. I counsel about 18 presidents. And many of these African presidents are coming to realization, and it is important that we have to assure not only the U.S. government but even the private organizations that are involved in helping these countries, want to be involved in helping these countries.
But you counseling them, how does that reassure Americans? You know, again, I admire you, sir, I really do. But these guys are corrupt. I mean, they're thieves, and there's no infrastructure to get the money to the people who need it. So I just don't know how you can do it.
You will be shocked. I was just a week ago, I was in Kenya, and I counsel the Kenyan president, many other presidents in Africa. And they attend my rallies, they invite me to their place, they take care of me. The best way to solve that problem is to change their hearts, their thinking, their imagination. And I spend hours and hours one-on-one with these men saying, look, you haven't brought anything to this world, you're not going to take anything from this world, why you want to have any money? Why don't you give up? Whatever you have, why don't you live the life?
All right, and that message, again, I'm glad you're doing it, but again, the American taxpayer, you know, Africa, chaos, top to bottom.
I understand that, but we cannot give up because millions of precious lives are dying. You're talking about 200 million. What's a life worth?
No,
it's priceless. And
but we don't see France pouring money in there. We don't see Germany or Switzerland. It seems it always comes back to the United States to do this.
That's what whom much is given, much is required, as you know the scripture. When much is given to us, we have to do much for the world. And I agree, no other nation does what America does, and I appreciate all the listeners today that they are even tuning into your program like this, and I do appreciate your program because you always bring valuable subjects on the program. Most people like to do things
right. They just ignore it. All right, Mr. Paul, we want you to, when you come back from Africa, please check in with us again, and we appreciate your good work, and thanks for being on The Factor tonight.
Thank you very much for having me.
The other side of this very disturbing problem in a moment.